Mr. Transformers 96 here. In the video, I'm going to talk about a newly shown Transformers product, and this time it's the Saviour third-party Troublemaker, which of course is Devastator. So this is quite exciting. I've done individual videos for the majority of the figures that build this kind of build-a-figure, if you'll say, for Troublemaker. I think that the only one that I didn't make a video of was Rampage, to be honest. When that one was shown, I was kind of busy and I never got around to it. But other than that, I've kind of made individual videos talking about how I feel about the Constructicons individually. Overall, I think that they're quite good. Some of them I think look really good. Some of them look okay. And, you know, with this third-party company making this figure at the very same time that Hasbro is making their official one, you can really compare them. And in most cases, I think that they're much better than Hasbro. In some cases, though, I feel like they're not quite as good, or at least they're somewhat on par. The paint overall I do think looks very nice, but some of the just designs seem a little plain. But Devastator, on the other hand, or Troublemaker, looks amazing. Like, I really don't have much negative, if anything, to say about it for the most part. It's just perfect. So let's talk about it. This is actually my favorite shot of him. I do have more images, of course, but this one just looks super cool. I love that the mouth is split open. You know, you can see that he's like almost forming the kind of the mouth to be able to do like the sucking, where it sucks in all the debris and the sand and everything like that, and the pyramid itself. It looks really cool. My only thing that I would have liked is more pieces to be able to like fully build up his face so that he does like fully look like he's actually doing that. However, this is a really good start. I also like the paneling that splits out over the face. It gives his face a wider look, which is something that's an issue when it comes to Hasbro's. Hasbro's has a very flat look to it. Here's another shot. Here it is with the face a little bit more closed up, but it still looks really nice. Obviously, as you can see, the body and the head are fully painted and complete. It's the arms and legs that are still in the prototype mode, or prototype form, which doesn't have paint, unfortunately. But as you can see, articulation looks quite good. He obviously can crouch very well, but he still can put his arms down, and it looks like he is very sturdy. The head looks like it has some great articulation, which is something that it seems that the Hasbro one is very much lacking. And yes, he does have the two kind of wrecking balls right in between his legs. Kind of a cringeworthy joke that I never really appreciated from the original film. That, I mean, I applaud their ability to be accurate. However, I'm just not a fan of it overall. That's something that I certainly would not display with him with. Here's some good side shots so you can see specifically how he looks crouched down. As you can see, he looks fantastic. My only issue is that his leg is extended off the floor. Don't know if that's a choice by them to make it look like he's taking a step, or if he just, you know, he can't physically put his foot flat when he's that far forward. I'm not sure. I would have assumed that maybe you could, you know, bend this down a little bit extra, but maybe that's the furthest extent that it can go. But as you can see from this side, it looks phenomenal. I think with the proper colors, this thing's going to look so good with the yellows and the greens. Oh, and then of course you can get something more extreme like this, where he's really just charging forward. Super cool. As you can see, the arm extends up quite far. I wish that the hands were spread out a bit more. This almost just, because there's so much just stuff on him, you can get a little lost with what you're looking at. I think that people who are not Transformers fans would look at this thing and have trouble knowing where the head is or anything. But as a Transformer fan, it even gets a little bit hard to see what's happening with the arms, or with the arms and things like that, unless you like truly look at it closely. So I'd prefer that the hands were open a little bit to really accentuate the fact that those are specific fingers. But as you can see, the articulation just looks really good. This thing looks amazing. I want it. All the other Constructicons, you know, even the really good-looking Constructicons, I appreciate it. I thought all those looked pretty neat, but I'm very happy with Hasbro's version. This, on the other hand, is one of those things where I'm like, I want Devastator. I don't care about the Constructicons, I just want this version of Devastator, because although I am happy with Hasbro's version, this one does blow it out of the water. Let's get a comparison going. Alright, here we go. Here's a comparison for you. The Troublemaker from Saviour compared to the Devastator from Hasbro. As you can see, there's really, you know, the Hasbro one doesn't hold a candle to this one. But that's obviously to be expected. The Hasbro version is much less expensive than this one. To be able to purchase all of the figures to build either of these, let me calculate Hasbro's. Alright, so to build Hasbro's, it's cost $260. To build Troublemaker, it costs $920. So the difference is outstanding, obviously. It's the same amount of figures, too, but just obviously, the scale is a little bit bigger with Troublemaker, and the quality is a little bit better being a third-party company. So obviously, you're paying a lot more, so you are getting a better product for those funds. I think that if you're just looking for a representation of Hasbro, representation of Devastator in your collection, the Hasbro one is going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I've built a lot of it already, and what I have built, I really do like a lot. This other version just looks so much cooler. To be honest, what I would like to do is I'd like to just buy Mixmaster from Devil Saviour and put it on the Hasbro figure, because I just, I'm actually having a big change in my life. I just bought my first house, and I've got a lot going on, and I'm trying to cut back on, figure purchases and collection purchases. So right now, I'm definitely not going to get Troublemaker. But have I not, if this was a little bit earlier on, I think I might have thought about really putting all efforts into actually purchasing that full thing, because it just looks so good. But right now, I definitely can't. But the idea of buying Mixmaster, the head, and kind of, mashing it onto the Hasbro version really does intrigue me, because although I think that all of the Troublemaker looks great, I think that head sculpt is the big winner. I think the head sculpt is great. It's the thing that's perfect in my mind. I love the look of kind of the mixing section on the head, and I love the actual face for Devastator too. I think it looks badass. The rest of them looks great too. However, the rest of this Devastator I think looks fine from Hasbro. I think it looks quite good. It's posed horribly, and I think that's the majority of the issue. When it's in a better pose, and when it's crouching down like it should be in these photos, I think that it'll look fantastic. So to be honest, I'm almost tempted to do that. I might put some research into kind of the size difference between these two to see if there is actually if that's feasible. But overall, I think that this looks great. If you do plan to buy Troublemaker, or you're buying a couple of the Constructicons, you might as well get them all, because the complete product just looks fantastic. It really does. But when it comes to the price difference, there is a substantial difference. So it is obviously completely understandable if you're going to go with the Hasbro version. Because even the Hasbro version is very expensive. It's a lot of figures to buy, of course. And they're both selling them the exact same way, buying the figures individually. But I can't wait to see some final production images of Devastator or Troublemaker from Devil Saviour. I'm very excited to see this figure with the full colors. I think it'll look pretty incredible. So let me know what you guys think, and thanks so much for watching.